Okay, what's up, traders? Happy Wednesday. I hope that you guys are all doing well. It is first and foremost, we need to mention this. It is FOMC today. What's up, Ken, RS, Tony, Jess? I see in the chat and the Discord, and yeah, all the guys on socials as well. Let me know if you have any questions. How's your week been so far? Markets have just been grinding high. If we look at ES and NQ, this is a 15-minute time frame. I mean, to start the week, we are literally up on ES. We gapped down to start the week. Now we are up literally from that open 111 points. We are rolling over here at the moment, so that is going to be interesting. Why I'm actually yesterday was down and looks like we are down overnight as well due to United Healthcare trading lower. So that is going to be interesting going into the open. The DAX is trading lower as well. We do have stocks up overnight. Nvidia's up 1%, almost 2%. And then we have Tesla, Green, Apple, and Meta are the only stocks that are red at the moment. So some big news today. We do have FOMC at 9 p.m. South African time. That is 2 p.m. Eastern. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And then in terms of earnings, we do have some earnings release as well. So let's go over here. Screeners. Let's go calendars. Sorry, earnings. Get that up. How's your guys' week been so far? Tony, Jess, how's your guys' week been so far? Okay, so let's go to market cap. So we have Wednesday after close. We should have quite a bit of earnings coming out in the next bit as well. So let's go over here. We got Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla all reporting after the close today. This actual visual representation shows it better. Let's go to the earnings calendar like this. Okay, get up over here. As you can see, earningshub.com shows us a little bit better. So we have quite a few earnings here after the close. Microsoft, Tesla, Meta. And then we have Apple tomorrow, Visa. And then next week should be Nvidia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, next week's Google, Amazon, AMD, SMCI, Nvidia, Palantir as well. Okay, so quite a few earnings coming up on top of FOMC today with those big three. Yeah, Nvidia is... Where's Nvidia? Yeah. Must be the following week. Anyway, you get the point, right? There's a lot of earnings coming out. Yeah, Tesla, Microsoft, and Meta all today after the close. But interestingly enough, the DAX is coming down this morning. Good morning. What's up, Frank? Good morning, Afternoon James. Would you suggest not trading today despite having an edge? I'm going to trade today, but I'm going to keep it small if I am going to look for anything. I'm going to keep it small. And I might not trade accounts that are super important to me or particularly prop firm accounts that are due for payout. I'll trade maybe my personal account with small risk on it. Typically on FOMC days, I find that better price action comes the day after FOMC. If we actually come over here and we look at the age-filled data over here, we can actually have a look at what's that report here? Economic data volume. Okay, if you look at economic data volume and we look at this over here, FOMC, okay, we can always see that volume does typically pick up the day after. Okay, so this is T minus 1 day, T minus 2. FOMC is the blue day. And then the day after FOMC, look at that. Volume picks up always the day after the FOMC. So opportunities will come, but typically after FOMC. So on FOMC days, I typically keep it more light. Yes, sir. Thanks, boss. Let's go, James. What's up, Greg? Dubai. I trade the orb with actual stats, but I didn't want to force anything. Yeah, that makes sense, 100%. As I said, like, you know, if you got an edge, I think you still want to play it. Like I said, I'm going to have my algo running here, but from a discretional trading perspective, I might just keep it a little bit more smaller heading into FOMC because I know opportunities are going to come the next day. Yes, sir. But yeah, thoughts in the chat. Any questions? How, again, anyone in the chat want to speak on how the week's been going? The week's been pretty chilled my side. I've been doing well on some prop firm accounts. Personal account, I tried on that Monday to short the Nasdaq, and then I got the winner on YM, so I took a loss on the Nasdaq and then a winner on YM. So maybe just not exploiting that uptrend on the Nasdaq and indexes as best as I would have liked to. That is maybe what I can speak on from my side of things. I think I could have played the longs a lot better. Even just like a swing trade, holding on the break of highs and just letting it play out. But maybe too stubborn in the short bias, trying to see things roll over could be my takeaway from this week. You guys can hear me in the Discord chat. Just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me in the Discord chat. You should be able to hear me. But yeah, interestingly enough, YM from United Healthcare is trading. It traded a lot lower yesterday. We can see that it was down almost 500 points yesterday, which is obviously a pretty big sell-off on that. And then Nasdaq and ES just a complete opposite. They just continue to make new highs, with obviously the indexes picking up momentum from that Nvidia and Tesla moves. I mean, Nvidia is up almost 2% overnight again as well. Like, look at that. The DAX, I did mention, coming down though this morning. That could be a front runner for US indexes. Jess or Tony, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat. I just want to make sure that it is working there. But yeah, any questions on the social media side of the stream here as well? I want to make sure that we do cover things. I always get asked, yeah, perfect. Okay, you can hear me. Perfect. That's good. I was going to ask James, what reports do you like to have a look at from an Edgeful trading perspective? I like using the screener for the daily bias. That will obviously print when markets open, obviously. But from a report side of things, opening candle continuation, and then I use the opening range and VWAP. I'll keep it as simple as possible. If you look at the opening candle continuation, if you even look at it on Tesla, okay, in the last 6 months, we can see if that first hour is bullish, 75% of the time will close as a bullish closing day, and vice versa for the shorts. That first hour is bearish, 77% of the time. Now, I am live on my own live trading room Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays and Fridays, I am live with Edgeful. Okay, as you can see over here. Make sure to hit the link in my bio. But Mondays and Fridays, I'm live with Andre. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, my own streams. And then obviously the pre-market prep stuff here, as always. So have a look at the world indexes. We popped on the open on the Japanese Nikkei, and now we're coming back down. The Hang Seng index as well, which I sometimes like to trade. I mean, all these markets have just been soaring to new highs in the Asian session. This Hang Seng index moves pretty aggressively in the Asian markets, as well as this Japanese Nikkei. South African markets are at all-time highs. I know a lot of you guys probably don't look at it, but they do work off of each other from the American markets as well. Nasdaq popped down on the open yesterday, as you can see, and then just straight back up. That was literally the low of the day for the regular trading hours, and we popped back down. So my thought process is here, as I said, is try not to get too caught up in the shorts. FOMC will play a factor. Keep it light and tight heading into the open. If something does present, I will look to take it. I'm going to let my Edgeful algos do their thing as well. And then, yeah, just trade what's in front of me. I think that's probably the biggest lesson I can take from this week. I have traded a little bit more lighter size this week with FOMC coming out, which has kept me in the game. Allowed me to not be right on all my trades, which, very rarely is anyone going to win every single one of their trades? That's obviously a lie if anyone does tell you that. And yeah, I think the smaller size has allowed me to maneuver my positions and cut when I need to, and get in when and add in when I need to as well. So that's been something that's been helping me too. I think position sizing is so important in trading. Just from a perspective of if you're in aggressively too early, you kind of limit your options to how you can manage a trade. If you're into aggressively too early with big size, you get sometimes married to a bias or married to a position. If you're small in your position, you can look to cut quite quickly or add when you need to. So that's something that I've been working on as well. Has been smaller size initially, and then I can look to maneuver from there. Personally, I do like to sometimes add into my trades. But if you're into big early on, it does mess you up. So again, as I said, like it will be interesting to see what YM does. We have been moving completely opposite to the other two indexes on this. So I would not be surprised to see YM take out these lows. We are trading as an inside day on YM. NQ and ES have both taken out their previous day's highs. As you can see, previous day's highs on NASDAQ over here, previous day's lows. We have taken those out, and that's obviously a great sign because we could see our trade better on outside days. So in inside days, when we trade completely within the previous day's highs and lows, we very rarely actually get that. So if we go to the inside bars report with HFIL, okay, let's go to NASDAQ, NQ. We can see that only happens 18% of the time inside days where we trade completely within the previous day's highs and lows. On ES, that I think it is lower actually. It could be like 14, 15% in the last 6 months. Last I checked, yeah, 15%. What's up, KB? Any questions in the chat so far? How's your guys' week been? Jess, any payouts coming up on those accounts that you're trading? I know you've been trading pretty solidly more recently in the last 3 weeks or so. KB, how's your week been? Miguel, how's your week been? So yeah, as I said, I think again I like to look at pre-market levels. If we struggle to take highs here, I could see us rolling back down potentially, but I'm not just going to hop into shorts blindly. I will wait to see what stocks do on the open, get a feel for what the market's doing. Hoa, how's your week been, Hoa? Good to see you in the chat as always. So yeah, as I said, like I think the smaller that you keep the size, the more opportunity you have of working your positions from a discretional trading perspective. And that's again like going into FOMC. You got to know what's happening around you in markets. Okay, so with FOMC coming out, and we got Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla earnings tonight. That will be massive, right? 3 of the Mag 7 are all reporting tonight after the close. With that happening, we know that there could be fireworks happening once trading stops for the day, right? With the regular market. So changeover of day overnight, Asian session could be pretty big. Morning gap up retracement, yeah, that's what I'm possibly thinking on NQ and ES potentially. At least a gap fill and then maybe move higher, but you know, as I said, I don't want to just blindly short, but I definitely think on NQ this gap up could be filled back down to that 100 level. What was it? 26.1? Yeah, call it 26.100. YM was actually showing a lot of weakness in the closing bits in the last 2 days. Look how we dumped off the highs here on YM. We literally on 20 minutes before the close, we dumped 200 points on Monday night. So markets have not been trading relatively strong into the close, at least on YM. NASDAQ and NQ obviously closing on their highs. So that it has been interesting to see the divergence. Couple trades on HIMS stock, nothing much made, 0.28 cents, risk 6 cents per range play. Then, yeah, okay, nice. So you've been trading a little bit of individual stock names this week. We can see a little bit of some of these individual stock names have been doing well. I still got a run on AMD that I'm working back from 2 weeks ago that I did speak about on stream that I took literally after I took it on the first day. We gapped up 5.5%. So I took 80% there. I'm still running 20% of my original size on with my stop loss. I think my stop loss is above these highs here at 225. So I'm in at 209 and I'm currently still running that 20% trailing piece on that. So that's been a pretty nice trade for me from a swing trading perspective. As I said, just with the DAX rolling over here, okay, it is going to be interesting to see what we do get on American markets because this can sometimes be a front runner for what American markets want to do. What's up? You've been in AMD for, but yeah, 2 weeks now. Good to see you guys on. those that are joining now. Yeah, past week, not well. To be honest, I was only 0.0% to pass Niva. I'm pressure to go in. Now I'm back at the markets after some thorough self-reflection. Yeah, that's a tough one, bro. I think that happens, particularly in the prop firm space. That's happened to me a few times where you're close to passing and then you get a little bit trigger happy and and mess it up. But you just got to come, bounce back. Never give up and bounce back and learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes in this business, you're going to have a tough time, getting better and actually making money. You are going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes. How you bounce back from them and make sure that the mistakes don't, blow you up can help you quite a bit. Yeah, so it's a tough one, Miguel, but you got to learn from that. We all have to learn from our mistakes, right? It's just a way of trading. Unfortunately, you're gonna make silly mistakes that, in hindsight, look easy, but it's all about correcting them in real time. That's the main important thing: correcting your mistakes in real time. And the biggest thing for me as well was having loss limits in place. When you have loss limits in place, you can actually work around. You can work around it. And it doesn't blow you up and it keeps you in the game. If you don't have those in place, that's where things go south, and it takes you 4 or 5 good trading days to make back that loss, and that can be sometimes very, very emotionally draining at times, for sure. Cool. So we got the live stream that I'm on, my own live stream in the next hour. Make sure to hit the link in my bio, and then I'll be live here with Andre on Friday. As always, we do have a special guest, Dan, joining us. That will be pretty cool. And then I think Hoa is actually streaming. Hoa. I think Mr. Zink is streaming live for the Open today, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So there's always live streams happening on the Edgeful YouTube channel. I was looking at Hoa's name in the chat. Yeah, you're not streaming, bro. But so that'll be good. As I said, always feel free to come and ask questions on the chat too. That is how you learn as well. If you're getting on here, I think trading is a big community, is a big part of trading too. It can be quite lonely at times, especially during, Miguel, you've just spoken about where you're close to passing a prop firm challenge and then knocking yourself back a bit and having to take a little bit of self-reflection. It can be quite lonely at times if you aren't around other people that have actually, been through those same mistakes that you've made, because we're all going to make them. It's just about correcting them and finding your feet again. So yeah, we'll see you guys on my live stream today. I'll be in the Discord chat as well, so make sure to put through any questions there as well. We'll see what you are watching, and then keep it small size before FOMC today. I don't want you guys to get yourself in a predicament before FOMC actually prints, because there could be some nice opportunities coming in Thursday and Friday. And then obviously, as I mentioned, those 3 Mag 7 stocks, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla, all reporting after the close today. So we'll see you in the Discord rest of the day on my live stream. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you guys the rest of the session. Cheers.